I have two dachshunds named Greta and Ava that I got when I was like 21 years old or so. So they kind of go with the whole German cabaret thing. I think that, and also Gypsy Rose Lee was a very famous burlesque star, and she had a dachshund. So a lot of very famous and fabulous people had dachshunds. Ever since I was a little girl, I was very interested in the films of the 1940s and the old movie stars from the 40s and 50s. And that's all I watched as a child. And as I grew older, I just kept actively learning about 40s Hollywood, and it led me to burlesque. And I learned more about pinup and burlesque from reading books and everything. So I just felt like it was something that no one has brought back yet. At the time, no one was really doing it, and people were still really interested in retro sexuality. So I just wanted to bring a little bit of that back, and that's what I've been doing for the past 12 years. I think that there are many different fans of burlesque. The events that I do, which are the biggest burlesque events worldwide, they're very heavily attended by women, and women that bring their boyfriends, and I'd say that probably it's more than half are women. But also there are some very old men that remember burlesque. There's some very young people that want to learn about it. So it's a really good even mix, and back in the burlesque days, 75% of the audience was men, absolutely, no question. But now it's probably more women than men. I have more female fans than male fans, I think, believe it or not. People used to be really excited by just a flash of leg, and that's not really the case. You can't dance around for a half an hour with feather fans and only show a little leg now and then. People want to see a little more, so a little more bang for their buck. So that's why I like to bring a lot of my own personality and my own ideas. And also, it's important too to not just copy what was done, because you can't really protect your own assets. If I have my own ideas, then it's mine and mine alone, and no one else can copy me. I think that his style is still going to remain the same, and he's taken a lot of what I love and turned it into his own thing, which is great, because it's not just a copy of the whole swing scene and the big band scene. It's something totally unique that nobody's ever done before. And so he did his own research. I mean, I think that I maybe led him down the path, but he probably knows more about it than I do at this point, and he definitely turned it into something totally his own. Before I met him, I thought he was a fantastic entertainer, and I admit that I didn't really know a lot about his songs other than I heard them in the strip clubs all the time. But I don't think it was just that the music was not what I was listening to at the time. I was listening to all 1940s music, and so when I first met him and he gave me a CD, I was like, whoa. But I love it, of course, now. He's not the typical burlesque fan, because every time I do a show and he's in the audience, he's the loudest one. He turns into that wolf, the cartoon wolf with the eyes that pop out of his head, and he screams and yells. He's like my biggest fan. So I think that he's definitely makes up the whole audience himself.